Welcome everyone. Today I'll be discussing the effects and consequences of early tobacco use. The article I selected for this speech is from the Holmes Community College Library, entitled Revisiting Drug Progression, Long-Range Effects of Early Tobacco Use. The authors of this article are William Vega of the Behavioral and Research Training Institute and Andre Gill of the Community-Based Intervention Research Group at Florida International University in Miami. In the past, the drug progression model has been used to explain the stages of drug use and has popularized the term gateway to describe the introductory substances of a person's developmental drug use habits. The research in this article was performed to serve as a detailed study of patterns of gateway drug usage among ethnically diverse subgroups. This data will give a better idea of what conditions increase the risk of movement toward illicit drug use will occur. I chose this article because I wanted to learn more about why some people move from drinking and smoking as youths to illegal and more damaging drugs as they grow older. This article provides insight to the factors that determine what biological factors affect who uses hard drugs later in their lifetime after smoking and using alcohol in their childhood. The authors think that differences in ethnicities affect the differences in progression of tobacco use. I will discuss the ethnic groups observed in this study, the measures used when collecting data in the study, and the results of the study. For this study, 3 ethnic groups were observed. European Americans, African Americans, and Latinos were sampled, with the Latinos further divided into non-U.S. born and U.S. born. Among the groups, the U.S. born Latinos had the highest chance for persistent use of marijuana. For the non-U.S. born Latinos, late onset use was significant. For African Americans, none of the tobacco typologies were significant. This study uses data previously collected in another study that began in 1990. It followed a group of students from middle age into late adolescence, issuing questionnaires annually and separating results into what this study refers to as waves. Wave 1 consisted of 7,386 completed questionnaires, Wave 2 had 6,646, Wave 3 had 5,224, and Wave 4 was completed in 1998 as a follow-up to the existing data. The sample size of individuals used to the collecting data in the current study is 1,208. 339 were U.S. born Latinos, 226 were non-U.S. born Latinos, 298 were African Americans, and 345 were European Americans. 73.5% of people in the study were male and 26.5% were female. In this study, a variable was created that covers every tobacco use typology through the first 3 waves. 5 tobacco use indicators make up this variable. First indicator refers to early tobacco use onset, which is used during Wave 1 with a mean age of 11.07 years, but not into later waves. The second indicator covers intermediate use onset, or kids who continued use after starting use in middle school. The third indicator includes use beginning in the 3rd wave with a mean age of 14.02. The fourth is persistent use starting at Wave 1 continuing through Waves 2 and 3. The fifth is youth who did not use tobacco. Other measures used in this study include substance use, parental smoking, socioeconomic status, education and gender control variables, marijuana and other drug dependence. In early onset and progression rates, ethnic differences were found. African Americans and non-U.S. born Latinos have low rates of early onset and progression to regular use with tobacco and other drug abuse compared to European Americans and U.S. born Latinos. Compared to the other groups who early tobacco use causes greater risk of drug abuse in late adolescence, African Americans increased risk developed from a later onset of tobacco use. In conclusion, the main factors of this article are the differences in ethnic groups, measured use in the study, and results of the study. This study discovers what influences and affects youth of different ethnicities and their risk of tobacco use and progression. I believe studies like this are important because they bring awareness to all factors that may lead up to tobacco or drug addiction after beginning use early in one's lifetime.